Good evening, fellow viewers. Thank you, fellow followers, and of course, I've seen people have subscribed, and the number is growing. Thank you so much. Remind your neighbor, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like it, and of course, comment. At this point in time, mind you, we are counting down the GCs. That is, we are going to look at standard deviation. Under standard deviation, it is very, very important to understand how to do it. So I'll teach you. I'll try by means to teach you the shortest way of doing standard deviation. This is the shortest. This is your question paper. This is how the question will be. Just on the question, please listen very carefully. Don't waste your time to be drawing the tables. Already the table has started with you. So see what I'm going to do. Do not waste much of your time drawing another table. You are wasting much of your time. So how do we find the standard deviation? So on the question paper, this is my question paper. Of course, it has no space the way I have written it here. Find that the space is too small here. So what I would ask you, where you are, you just have to add. You just have to add another columns and row. So what it is you extend this one. So this question says the ages of people living at Pamo's village are recorded in the frequency table below. So these are the ages, and we have seen the number of people. So from 0 to 10, there were 7, 10 to 20, there were 22, 20 to 30, there were 28, 30 to 40, 23, 40 to 50, 15, and of course 50 to 60, there were 5. Mind you, Max. So how do we do it? We are saying, number one, in an exam, this is your question paper. I'm teaching we are towards the exam. So we are teaching now, this is what we call crash program. We are trying to make sure that at least you attempt this question and you get it correctly. This is how you do it. You extend this. You can say I've just extended. On the question paper, no need of you, I haven't started answering this. And I'll call this as, because this is was part of the question. So yeah, this is my X where I've extended. So now how do we find this? Of course, it is the matter of 5 plus, 0 plus 10, which is 10, divided by 2, it is 5. I want you to listen very carefully. I'm saying, how did we get the 5? We added. We did what? We added. How did we add? We said 0 plus 10 divided by 2 to get this 5. Again, you will see 10 plus 20, 30 divided by 5, it is 15. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in an exam, don't waste your time to be dividing what? You can see for them to get 15, what did they do? They added a 10. So it means 10 plus 5, 15. 15 plus 10, 25. 25 plus 10, 35. 35 plus 10, 45. 45 plus 10, 55. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how they were doing it. So you come up with what we call a sequence. This is just a sequence of the numbers, and this is my X. And again, here, down here, you extend. This is in the examination. This is the examination paper. You just have to extend. You do it like this. You have just extended. Don't waste your time. What I've done, I've just extended, and I'll call this as my f of x. And this is already f. So now, if this is my f, this is f of x. Ladies and gentlemen, you start multiplying. Here the calculator is needed. 5 times 7, you get 35. You can see what I've done. Again, you continue. You say, okay, 25. So in short, 15 times 22. With your calculator, you get 330. Again, you say, okay, 25 multiplied by 28. You agree with me that you get a 700. I'm multiplying the x which you had found and with the f. So this is what we call f of x. Then again, you multiply 35. Multiply by 23. Of course, you get 805. 45. I hope you have seen 45 times 15. You get a 675. Again, you get 55. This 55 by 5, you are in an exam, you get a 275. So ladies and gentlemen, you can see from there, if you don't mind, first of all, you add the totals here. Here, because this one it has no function, just say total. So now you add, I'm trying now to add the frequency. 7, I hope the camera can catch. 7 plus 22 plus 28 plus 23 plus 15 plus 5. Of course, I'm going to have 100. So my total under the frequency is 100. Again, you come to this one. You just have to start adding, you say 35 plus 330 plus 700 plus 805 plus 675 plus 275. You end up having this number, which is 28, 20, 28, 20. So from there, ladies and gentlemen, again, you extend your table. You are in an exam. You can see that because of the question there, don't worry about this. I'm showing you the actual what you are going to face in an exam. I don't want to rub this. So this is your question. Just have to extend this again. I've just extended. Don't worry about the words I've written there. What is important is to know that here, there in the question paper, you won't have the space. So I'm trying to be real, to be just like on the ground, the way you are going to face it. Here, there is no space because there are some questions like calculate the standard deviation. It will be there. So what you do is you just have to extend the table. And I'll call this as my f of x squared. Ladies and gentlemen, you start squaring the x. You put the square, you put the square, you put the square, you put the square, you put the square. From there, what do? You say, okay, 25, mind you, 5 times 5, 5 squared is 25. Multiply by the frequency, which is a 7. I'll get 175. So I'll get 175. I continue. I say, okay, what is 15 squared? If you do the needful 15 squared, 225 should multiply by 22. Some people will say, where is the 22 coming from? I'm just multiplying with the frequency. I'll get 4,950, like that. I continue. I say, okay, 25 squared, that is 625. I just want to be sure of what we are doing. 625 multiplied by 28. 28. I'll get 17,500. I'll get 17,500. Again, I continue with my 35 squared. You're in an exam. You get that one, then multiply by 23. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll get 28,000, of course, 175. I continue. I say, okay, 45 squared. 45 squared multiplied by 15. 15. I'll get 30,000. 30,000. Of course, 375. Again, last but not the least, I say, okay, 55 squared. I'll get something that then we should multiply by 5. I should multiply by 5. I'll get 15,000. 15,125. So, ladies and gentlemen, here the last part, I just have to square this one to get this one. You add this. Mind you, this is the question paper. I haven't shown you what you should write in the answer sheet. This is just on the question paper. What do you do now? You add these things. You are adding. You say, okay, let me now add plus 30, 375. Plus, I'm adding, ladies and gentlemen, 28, 175 plus 17,500 plus, you agree with me that 4,950 plus 175. The total I'll get is I'll get 96,300. 96,300. The camera, let's hope the camera can catch that picture so that people can understand. Ladies and gentlemen, what was I talking about? I said when you are given a question to calculate the standard deviation, on the question paper, I'm repeating, on the same question paper, I haven't shown you how to what is needed on the answer sheet. The table is already, they have started with you with the table. So from that, the original table from the question paper, you generate, you just have to extend, then you make those things the way you have shown there. Now, this is how you should start answering now. You are in the exam. The first thing we look for the mean. We say mean is equal to f of x divided by the summation of f. Which you agreed with me that f of x is the sum there. F of x is equal to 20 over the summation of the frequencies is just 100, which is the truth is that it is this 28.2. This is what we are calling the mean. So this mean is very, very important. You leave it. You say, if anything, you say, okay, this is my mean, but this is not the final answer. But now you have to square this mean. So I have to square this mean. I will try by all means to square this mean. Let's hope our camera can catch that one. I'm trying to square. Ladies and gentlemen, see what I'm doing. I'm going to square this. What I have is this number, 79, 79, what is the, in short, 795.24. So this number is very, very important. If it means you put a star, you put a star. Next, you are in an exam. The next thing you should look for, very simple. I'm looking for this, this one over the summation of this. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got the f of x squared. It is here. It is 96,300. This is here over 100. You agree with me that I don't need to waste my time in an exam. I will have a 963. These numbers are very important. So now we are looking at standard deviation. Standard deviation without wasting much of your time. I know for sure that standard deviation is this over this minus this summation of that minus of that squared. Now, ladies and gentlemen, all this statement, we have already done this. We have got this statement here, which I'm trying to explain, which is just on top of you there. I've got this one already, which is this one, without wasting much of your time. So why are you wasting your time with this one? Since we are not interested in this, don't waste your time to be showing this method. You just have to say, okay, now it is the difference. It is the difference. Standard deviation, you say, okay, standard deviation is the square root of this 963 minus 795.24. So we should subtract that, ladies and gentlemen. We are saying 963, in short, 963 minus 795.24. The answer I'll get is this one. Mind you, this is very, very important. This number is what I'll get. It is 167.76. So this number, I have to find the square root of that number. So the number I'll get is standard deviation is equal to 12.9 5 2 2 1 9 8 9. Kindly write the whole figure. Write the whole figure to three significant figures. Standard deviation is equal to 1 2 3. So this will be just like 13.0. So this is the standard deviation. So once more, starting this table is not supposed to appear on your answer sheet. So this is a please, it is very, very important for you to show where this one, the mean, is, because it attracts the mark. And this statement is very, very important here. The mark is needed, and there it is very, very important, and last it is very, very important. So please make sure when you have been asked to find the standard deviation, I said make use of the table which is already in the question paper. Just extend, do your everything is there. What are you supposed to do? Here we are looking at the midpoint to find these values 5, 15 and so forth, and then up to 55. From there we start multiplying this and the frequency. This is what we call f of x. So 5 times that, 35. 15 times this equals to that, before you square. Then 25 times this equals to that, 35 times that equals to that, 45 times that equals to that, until you come to find the total. Equally, here now you start squaring. You square, this is what we call fx squared. Fx squared. Why? Because we are just saying standard deviation. In the standard deviation, the formula, even on the page cover or the question paper, is this. You agree with me that it is like this? This is what it is. But be careful. What are we looking for? Already, this one squared, it is this one. You can see this one squared, it is this one, which was 7 9 5 4 2 4, sorry, meaning 2 4. That's why I had to put the asterisk. It means it is this one. This is the one which appears here, and then this one, it is there. This is in the formula. This one in the formula here, you agree with me that it is this one. So by so doing, you do the subtraction, and from there you end up having. So once more, ladies and gentlemen, today we are looking at the standard deviation. I was saying, when you are given such a question, please, the same question paper, the question itself, it is the table for you. You can see I just extended here. To find the midpoint, I added 0 plus 10 divided by 2. Again 10 plus 20, 30 divided by 2. Now, if you see, it's like you are forming a sequence which starts with 5, 15, 25. They were just adding 10, 10, 10. That's how we reached there. So it is very, very important to find the total frequency. Again, when you multiply this one and that one, that is what we are calling f of x. You come up with this one, you find the total. So this one is not supposed to appear on your answer sheet. This table is not supposed to appear on your answer sheet. Instead, you start writing from where you say mean. You just, all these figures, you are copying them or you are getting them from the table on the question paper. After you have, then you just have to plug them. After you plug them in the end, you come up with the mean. This mean is supposed to be squared. This number is very, very important. Why? Because the formula states that the mean is squared. So this number is very, very important. That's why I have to put a asterisk. Equally, I have to find the summation of f of x squared. You just have to take from the table. That is 96,300. This is 96,300. Then divide by the frequency, and this is the number I got. Again, I had to put an asterisk. These numbers I have put asterisks here and there is very, very important because I should find their differences. Why did I find the differences? Because the formula says I should subtract, and then you find the square root of that. Please write the whole number, and in the end you are going to have the standard deviation. I hope you have enjoyed. This is one way of cutting, time, whereby drawing the table and so forth, you come up with this one. It's the straightforward thing. Thank you so much. God bless you. To remember to subscribe God bless you. I love you.